won't settle, won't sleep or stay. Signals live, baby, on the Palmetto Racing Network waves, where the roots run deep, gators bite, and the mean serpents play. Fumes and the engines louder than bombs. Only two things known to live long: champions, legends, stock car engine. The roughest, toughest bunch of motorsports, the wildest crowd you ever seen before. Palmetto lights burning through the low country road. Champions, legends, stock car engine. Palmetto lights burning through the low country road. Network of choice for the bold, for the free. Every roar, every voice on the air, on the screen. What they hear, what they know, where they've been, what they seen. Every turn, every burn, Palmetto carries the speed. Mean serpent, roughest, loudest, on scene, on stream. The roughest, toughest bunch of motorsports, the wildest crowd you ever seen before. Palmetto lights burning through the low country road. Champions, legends, stock car engine. Palmetto lights burning through the low country road.
Hello everybody, and welcome to another exciting evening here at Palmetto Racing Network for the Palmetto Racing League Street Stock Series Charlotte race. 75 laps around this intermediate oval here, as we take a couple of views and looks at the track currently. Drivers getting their last few minutes in of practice right quick, which gives us the opportune time to go ahead and take a look at our race info. This is the regular season race week 12 at Charlotte Motor Speedway. Again, 75 laps here tonight, just over 1.5 miles in configuration length. Track temperature looks to be about 70 degrees Fahrenheit currently. Clear skies, as you can tell here. So it is definitely a good evening for racing here, and should be an exciting one. Definitely want to give a shout out to a new member that just joined the league within the last day or so. That would be that of Slade Powell in the 82 car. Look for him out there tonight. If you're in the chat with us, be sure to show him some love. We'll go ahead and get that race info off of there, get our miniature timing tower up currently. Qualifying is going on as we speak, so we'll take some interesting views around the track here. Bring that driver box up to show you who you're looking at here is the 74 of Kyle Simmons out there getting his qualifying laps in. We will go ahead and throw up that track map as well. Two laps, 5 minutes of qualifying total. And once that concludes, we will get our starting grid up as these guys get ready to take on Charlotte Motor Speedway. hope you enjoyed the new intro music there while you wait for the stream to start. I know it certainly has been pleasant for us to see instead of looking at a blank screen with really nothing going on. Gets kind of boring at times, so always a welcome sight. As always, we want to give a shout out to our guys over at VB Racing, helping make this stuff possible. And I am going to double check the time here. We have about 2 minutes left on the clock for qualifying, as we see the 45 of Brent Thompson out there getting his laps in now. We will bring up the bigger driver info board here, give you some stats on some of these drivers. Look for there to be some good racing tonight. I know last week's grid at Darlington was kind of weak. If you tuned in for that one, we were a little delayed on the getting the broadcast. We were not able to live stream it last week due to some other commitment issues, but that is all right. We are back live this week and bringing you all the action as planned. And this race tonight will be no different. Should be a bit of a more decent sized grid tonight, as it looks like we do have 7 drivers registered to run. Let's double check on our time here. About 30 seconds remaining in qualifying. So we are going to go ahead and empty the screen here and get you prepared for that grid up as soon as it's ready. And about 3 seconds to go now. 12th race in of the 20-week season here, so only 8 more regular season races to go, and you know what that means. That means that playoff time is right around the corner. We'll go ahead and check out our starting grid up for tonight. Stephen Gall in the 25, gonna run with the pole position tonight. Aaron Vogt qualifying with the second fastest time tonight in second place. Aaron Martin in third in the 27. Brent Thompson in the 45 in fourth. Hunter Powell not scoring a bad qualifying time there, starting out in 5th in that 82 machine. Kyle Simmons in the 74 in 6th, and Mr. Doyle Tater Boyd in the 001 bringing up the rear of the pack there in 7th. That is your starting grid lineup. We'll go ahead and get our track maps and all of those things back on the screen for you here as these drivers get ready to make it happen tonight. Looks like we may be waiting on one more car to join. And we will get this one underway. And the pace car is rolling. As these drivers roll out onto the track and get ready for this 75 laps of action tonight. As soon as these drivers get the green flag, we will get your full timing tower up so you can keep up with all the positions, drivers, and action as it's happening. Coming to you live from Charlotte Motor Speedway this evening. Excellent evening for racing. Excellent track conditions it looks to be. We saw Aaron Martin in the 27 last week bring home the win at Darlington. You can bet he is shooting for another one tonight as they hit the start line, and we are green. Aaron Vogt now sticking out past the 25 of Stephen Gall, try and get that lead going early on. These drivers are running with a 30% fuel cap here, so there will be some green flag pit stops as we no longer have halfway stages. 25 is right in the bumper there of the 2 of Aaron Vogt. As drivers stretch their legs a little bit here, coming across the finish line now. 2 laps now complete of 75 here. Things looking good so far on the track. Got some too wide. Plenty of room at Charlotte to do it, that's for sure. So 25 looks to tuck in right behind the 2 of Aaron Vogt there. Vogt running the old school paint scheme, throwing back his old number 22 there. Some exciting history there with that guy for sure. Definitely glad to have him on board. Comes from a father who used to race back in the day. Got some really cool old clips. Definitely got it in his blood here, so it is no surprise to me that he is out front currently. Got to be consistent though, and we're going to see if we can see that here tonight as the 25 of Stephen Gall has his bumper right in the back of the 2 there. Got a little bit of daylight there between the 2, but for the most part that inside line is all single file. A couple drivers hanging to the outside there, that one being the 45 of Brent Thompson, and also the 74 of Kyle Simmons, who has now decided to tuck into the back there. We will get our standard driver box back up so we can show you who we are focused on here. We are 4 out of 75 laps completed, getting ready to be 5 laps completed this time around. Aaron Vogt doing a nice job there, running and establishing the lead here. The 25 of Stephen Gall trying to stay right on his draft now. Gonna take in as much of that air as he can, but the 45 of Brent Thompson's getting him a solid run on the outside there. As he looks to try and bring some competition to the number 2 of Aaron Vogt. Not sure how much is going to be effective here, but the 74 of Kyle Simmons now looks like he's going to try and tuck into the rear of the 45 of Brent Thompson. Try and help give him a little push here with the 27 of Aaron Martin back there just behind Kyle Simmons. Mr. Doyle Boyd back there just behind them on the inside. Solid 2-wide formation running through the turn now. Getting ready to come back out to the straight, and it looks like the 2 of Aaron Vogt still getting a solid push there from the 25. Keeping that draft alive. The 82 there of Slade Powell right behind him. Also tucking into that draft line, keeping that airflow nice and steady. So we ride up front with the 25 of Stephen Gall. Get a good look at the rear of the of Aaron Vogt there in the 2. That VB Racing car is always running top notch. Had a pretty good finish this past weekend in the StreetStock series at the Truck series at Rockingham. If you missed that one, be sure to go and look on the YouTube channel. It is available to stream on demand currently. As always, it is my daily mention. If you are happy with the content we bring to you week in and week out there, be sure to like and subscribe to the channel so you can keep up with all the upcoming streams and updates as the new stuff comes about on the daily here with this league. You've heard us talk a time or two before about this progression system debuting in September, and it seems to be that a lot of the drivers are in agreement that this is going to be a really good system, and most of them are excited to see it come to fruition. And it's going to add some more exciting series to the league, so give us a bit of a variety here, which is always exciting. That means more variety, means more coverage. There is the 27 of Aaron Martin getting a little loose there coming into the turn, but he's able to hang on to it. 30% fuel cap here and 2 sets of tires in the pits, so well, we should see some, well, we definitely will see some green flag pit stops tonight, hopefully, as long as no cautions come underway, which so far so good right now. No issues on track, knock on wood. Don't want to talk anything up here, as the 2 of Aaron Vogt keeps his lead currently. Started out in second, moved his way up to first position, getting around that of the 25 of Stephen Gall, but these guys are keeping it clean and competitive for sure. Bad thing about being in front of the pack, though, your fuel mileage is crap. The rest of these guys are drafting off of you and giving you some pushes there, but still does not make for very good fuel mileage, so he has a full task at hand here trying to lead this pack. Gotta wonder how that's gonna affect the pit strategy here. 11 laps now completed of 75. And if it keeps going the way that it currently is, we definitely may be looking at green flag racing the entire time, which I am totally fine with, as the 25 of Stephen Gall tucks in tight there. 27 of Aaron Martin just behind him, looking like he's trying to decide whether he wants to stick behind the 25 or try to find a gap there between Slade Powell and the 45 of Brent Thompson. A little bit of bobbing and weaving going on, but these guys are keeping it steady here. Steady and competitive, which is what we like to see. Too wide in the turn now. That 25 of Stephen Gall has done a great job this evening keeping that bumper tucked right in behind the 2 of Aaron Vogt. He's applying just the right amount of pressure there to keep himself afloat. And eventually, if he can find an opening, he may have a chance at getting around that 2. Definitely going to have to keep it in tight like he's been doing, though, and he's doing an outstanding job of doing that so far. I have to see if he can keep it up. And again, we still have the pit strategy to worry about as well, as we've known from the Truck Series and several StreetStock races before. Pit strategy can shake everything up. You can do everything right out on the track and end up losing position due to pit strategy. 27 of Aaron Martin getting a little below the blue line there. Looks like he was going to try to sneak out to the outside and realized the 45 of Brent Thompson was right there on his right side door. The 27 now trying to tuck in tight. A little bit of a nudge there. Things getting squirrely on the track from the 27. A little bit of a nudge to the 45 of Brent Thompson. Both drivers able to hang on to it, though, and keep it going. A little bit of space there in the pack now as Kyle Simmons in that 74 has made his way up to third place. A little bit of the shucking and jiving going on back there between the other drivers has allotted him some space and opportunity, and it looks like he is going to do his best to take it. All drivers trying to look like tucking, maybe possibly 27 there. Kind of threw me a wild card, but for the most part, everybody looks to be filing in single file formation here. Trying to definitely keep that draft alive now as 4 of them tuck in tight. That is the 2 of Aaron Vogt, the 25 of Stephen Gall, the 74 of Kyle Simmons, and the 82 of Slade Powell there. All these guys trying to keep things tight, keep that draft rolling. 45 and of Brent Thompson and the 001 of Mr. Doyle Boyd going to tuck in tight back there as well. Look like they may become draft partners for a little bit here. Try and give one another a push. The 45 of Brent Thompson had a solid push there for a bit. I thought he was going to get around the 2. Lap 17 now of 75 in the books. So far, so good. We have stayed green flag racing. Couple of drivers breaking off to the outside there. The 27 of Aaron Martin, and it looks like the 45 of Brent Thompson. Both breaking off to the outside. Other cars stay in single file here on that inside lane. 25 still tucked in tight behind the 2 of Aaron Vogt. Everybody keeping this gravy train a-rolling. 27 looks to find his groove out there. Solid lead in performance tonight by all 7 drivers on the track. Definitely been a good one to watch so far. As we come around this time with 19 laps in the book out of 75. One more lap closer to putting this one to bed. The 82 of Slade Powell going to come up on the outside here now. Is he going to try to give the 2 of Aaron Vogt some competition? It certainly does look so. The 2 of Aaron Vogt getting a little bit of an advantage there in the turn. I don't believe it's going to be enough to shake off the 82 of Slade Powell as he is coming up quickly on that outside. And now we've got a choice to make back there if you're Mr. Doyle Boyd and Brent Thompson. Do we stick with the outside run or do we stay with the inside? Looks like both drivers going to make a move to the outside there and try and tuck in behind that 82 of Slade Powell. Brent Thompson making a decision last minute to get back toward the inside there, and a little bit of closeness going on here. Too wide into the turn, keeping things exciting, but Slade Powell is not backing down in that 82 at all. Looks like he looks to keep the pressure on the 2 of Aaron Vogt. Got the bumper just out enough to take that lead, but it looks like Aaron Vogt gets it back. These guys are keeping it close, neck and neck here. 25 tucking in close. Everybody trying to keep that draft alive, and so far the draft game has been real tonight. With the season races, regular season races winding down, playoffs are imminent. We are near the playoff. Cutoff line has been discussed. Drivers know where they stand currently, and every race from this point matters. Playoff round, we'll have a round of 12, round of 8, and a round of 4 before we crown our champion, with the final race ending at Myrtle Beach Speedway. We have seen some exciting races since season 1 at Myrtle Beach Speedway. Pretty good track, short track, but it's a lot of fun. But it does have its own set of challenges. So I look forward to seeing how things play out with that. First playoff round begins June 24th. That will be the end of the regular season and the start of the very first playoff race. So it is within grasp. Cannot believe we are already 12 races into this 20-week season. Seems like just yesterday these guys were getting started and things were really starting to heat up. But boy, I tell you, the back burner is on fire and the grease is burning. as the 2 got a little bit of daylight there between himself and the 25. It seems the 82 of Slade Powell has went in for a pit entry here, so I think we may be starting to see possible pit strategy trying to take effect here. He's going ahead and pitting, topping off on fuel.
Y'all, but I'm pitting this time.
And the 001 of Mr. Doyle Boyd going ahead and pitting as well. So, folks, we may have the potential for 3 green flag pit stops here tonight if things stay the way that they are and we stay green flag racing. Pit strategies, everybody not going in at the same time, it's going to create some gaps on the track. So unless a caution comes out, pit strategy could determine everything here as the 2 of Aaron Vogt, 27 of Aaron Martin, the 45 of Brent Thompson, all decide to go ahead and pull down into pit lane entry here. 25 of Stephen Gall making the bold move to stay out for this one. Going to try to take the advantage here from the 2 of Aaron Vogt. Don't know how well it's going to play off, though, because he is going to take the pit this time around, 25 laps in, so we are 1/3 of the way through this one. So that means these drivers are getting about 25 laps to a tank of fuel. So, yeah, it very well could come down to 2 green flag pit stops and running across the finish line on fumes. And I do mean just making it. See how the pit road strategy plays out for these guys already on pit road. Looks like everybody opting to take fuel and tires here. Possibly, I would imagine. Couple of drivers coming out now. The 2 of Aaron Vogt there, the 74 of Kyle Simmons, the 45 of Brent Thompson, first one that looked to be out the pits. Now we see what the 25 of Stephen Gall is going to do, because those guys have to make it around the track and back up toward the finish line and beat Gall, who is currently the leader right now, sitting in pits. Looks like the 27 of Aaron Martin has already done so, so he is now our new leader. The next bunch of cars are coming up, and will they beat that 25 of Stephen Gall off pit road there? And they are coming around the turn now about the same time that Stephen Gall is coming out of pits, so it looks like he is going to get past here. And that may very well put him behind just a bit there, a bit of a 20-second gap for all the drivers on the field. Don't know what happened with the 82 of Slade Powell there. He is out of the session. Not sure if he was encountering some issues there or maybe some technical difficulties. Not entirely sure. We'll give a quick check here. Try and get an update. Unfortunately, I do not have one currently. As we see the 27 of Aaron Martin currently leading things out on the track. Again, he's the one that took the win last week. And you can bet your bottom dollar he's looking to do the same again tonight. With a substantial 21-second lead. However, statistics show us 25 laps on a tank of fuel. He is going to have to pit one more time and have another effective pit strategy to keep this lead going. How far are some of these drivers willing to push the envelope here? What a great race this has been so far, though, as we ride up front with the 25 of Stephen Gall currently in 4th place, with the 2 of Aaron Vogt behind him. Those two using the draft now, trying to make it effective to shrink that 20-second gap that they have between themselves and the 27 of Aaron Martin, who is going to keep that demanding lead for some time, for sure. Definitely had the most effective pit strategy so far, but it will be the next pit strategy that determines, I feel, our race winner. As everything out on the track so far has been pretty smooth sailing here. There is the 001 of Mr. Doyle Boyd with about a 28-second gap between himself and the leader, that of the 27 of Aaron Martin. Let's take a look at Mr. Doyle Boyd here. He has not gotten a lot of camera time tonight. Let's change that. As we go around the track and check on some of these drivers, Kyle Simmons in that 74 machine currently running in third place right now. Looks like he is trying to do his best to catch up to the 45 of Brent Grandpa Thompson. Got about a second gap there between him and the 45. He is trying to shrink that down so these guys can hopefully use the draft to their advantage here. Try and play catch up to that 27 who is out there just floating on the track all by himself. Plenty of room to stretch his legs and not really have to worry about anything. And it seems that the gap is growing a little bit. He may be trying to shrink the gap on the 001, possibly causing him to go a lap down. That's still a ways away, so we'll see what happens here. Let's go up front with our leader here, get some views of him and that awesome paint scheme. He's out there rocking that bright fluorescent pink, hitting the sun there is really, really eye-catching. 34 laps down now out of 75. Looks like the 45 of Brent Thompson has shrunk the gap a little bit, but not by much. When you look at the track map there, you can really see the distance and put it into perspective. Definitely a huge gap there now as the 27 makes his way around turns 3 and 4, coming towards the finish line there. Well, let's get back to some of the exciting action here. Still looks like the 25 of Stephen Gall and the 2 of Aaron Vogt working together here now. Still trying to get that draft going and make it something effective. If they can link up with that 45 of Brent Thompson, the 3 of them pushing together, they really might be able to do something here. Still got plenty of opportunity in this one. Only 35 laps down now, so we're just over a third of the way. Need to take a quick break. I'm going to leave you with the action here for just a second. I will be back on mic shortly. I need to relay something to the drivers, so I'll be back with you momentarily. Don't go anywhere. We're going to still be live. All right, and I am back. Sorry about that. Had to relay some info there. Had one driver asking about the halfway stage before the stream started there. Need to make sure I get that information out to him. It's the 45 of Brent Thompson now has taken over the lead. As it would appear, the 27 of Aaron Martin has possibly went into pit here. Let's go up front with our new leader here, the 45 of Brent Thompson, now taking command of this one. Not much of a gap, though. He's got about a second's worth of a gap between that of him and the 74 of Kyle Simmons, who is quickly trying to close it here. He is shrinking it ever so slightly to some degree. Now almost to a second and a half. The 25 of Stephen Gall and the 2 of Aaron Vogt also doing the same here. Let's check on our good buddy, the 27 of Aaron Martin, and see what he has going on. I want to say he possibly had to pit. Maybe. That's the only reason I could see him being a lap down. I'm not entirely sure what happened there. It seems like something changed up drastically. I don't know if maybe he pit. That's the only thing I can figure. Let me look back at our incident log here and see if it maybe, let's see. Yeah, that's exactly what happened. Looks like Aaron Martin entered the pits on lap 36. So just 4 laps ago he pitted, and now he is a lap down. But we are going to wind up seeing what the difference maker will be here, as most of these drivers are going to have to also pit now. And that could possibly present the situation of having a third green flag pit stop, unless some of these other guys out here stay out on the track and really push the envelope, which we know that some of them can't afford to do that. They went the full 25 laps on the first tank of fuel, so it is a very real possibility. We know for certain the 2 of Aaron Vogt did that. He stayed out for his 25 laps. So he very well may be able to stretch this one, take his lead back if he doesn't pit before making his pit stop again. So that'd be interesting to see how these guys play it out. Got to be careful how much information I share. They may be tuned into the live stream while they are racing. Don't want to have them feel like I'm giving them any pointers or help here. Does not look like we currently have anyone tuned into the stream driver-wise, so I think we should be fine there. There's the 2 of Aaron Vogt and the 25 of Stephen Gall still working together there. You see the 2 look like he might have been pondering on whether or not he was going to try to shoot to that outside and try and make a move. May not be a bad idea for the 25 of Stephen Gall, as he has been running out front here with the 2 of Aaron Vogt drafting behind him, which means his fuel economy has been terrible. So the 2 of Aaron Vogt trading off with him and taking off in front may actually help him conserve and stretch his mileage out just a little bit. I'm not sure if he's going to be willing to try and give up that position for that, though. We'll have to see how things play out as they stay tucked in tight together here up until the turn. 43 laps now, fixing to be 44 completed of 75, and we are about near the end of this one. Almost 2/3 of the way done with this race. Been an excellent race so far. Again, I don't want to sound like I'm talking anything up, but we have had no cautions thus far, and it has been all green flag racing, which always makes for a great time. It's the 25 of Stephen Gall and the 2 of Aaron Vogt trying to tuck in tight now behind the 74 of Kyle Simmons in second place. Now, if these 3 drivers can work together, they can really try and make their way back up to the 45 of Brent Thompson, and that could create a bit of a challenge there for that 45. Not that he's any stranger to being put in a challenge or a tight spot, because I highly doubt that one. But right now, he's kind of just running up there comfortably with no worries. Don't know how long it's going to stay that way here. And then again, we also have the talk of pit strategy here. This guy's doing an excellent job. This has been a great race to watch. It's races like this where the league, I'm sure, is thankful that they don't waste money on race control. Because honestly, race control would not have had much to do tonight. Honestly, he wouldn't have had anything to do except maybe trigger a halfway stage, as this series did used to run with a halfway stage here. So he definitely would have had an easygoing job tonight for sure. As we see those two still tucking in together here. About 4 more laps before reaching the 2/3 of the way through this race. It's the 45 of Brent Thompson now coming up on the 001 of Mr. Doyle Boyd, who is currently a lap down, along with the 27 of Aaron Martin.
45 pitting this time back.
45 making his way into the pits here. Looks like he is going to come in just before, if I'm not mistaken. I believe he did that the last go around as well. Came in a few laps early here. It'll be interesting to see what the 25 and the 2 here, what they decide to do. I don't think they're going to go in this time. I think they're going to try to stretch it out a few more laps here. Really make use of that fuel mileage. Excellent strategy as well. That now puts the 25 of Stephen Gall up in first place, right along with the 2 of Aaron Vogt in second. These guys may have a bit of a formula here for a strategy, and it may prove to be an effective one if they can make effective use of each other going around the track here. Will definitely be interesting to see how all of this shakes up. And who will wind up emerging victorious from this one? Who's going to decide to come in? Looks like they'll stay out another time. Guys still in pits getting ready to go a lap down here. That would be the 45 of Brent Thompson. Now, and also the 74 of Kyle Simmons, both getting placed a lap down, with those two drivers deciding to stay an extra lap out. So now the only 2 drivers currently on the lead lap will be that of the 25 of Stephen Gall and the 2 of Aaron Vogt, both coming down into the shoulder this time. Going to go ahead and take their pit. Let's see how this pays off when these guys come in. 26 laps to go in this one now.
25 better.
25 a little late there on his pit entry call. Just 25 to go now. Let's see how things shake up. So far, the 25 and the 2 are both still in the lead currently. Looks like both drivers are still on the lead lap, but the 27 of Aaron Martin has now gotten his lap back, and he is now back in first place here. But will he have to go in early towards the race here? We'll have to see how all of this pans out. Those 2 drivers still in the pits. Now may possibly flip-flop here. Those drivers may now be a lap down, and it does appear that they will be. Let's see. Nope, not a lap down yet, but got a decent gap there. The 27 of Aaron Martin is the guy to beat, and he is gaining close and quick on the 2 of Aaron Vogt. But with that being said, all these drivers that went ahead and pitted early, they will have to pit again. So that very well may yield 25 or the 2 the win. If the 2 can catch back up to the 25, may be a close battle for the win here between those 2. I love the racing like this, man. Even when the pit strategies keep you on the edge of your seat there, the 2 fighting hard, it looks like, to try and stay out in front of the 27 of Aaron Martin, trying his best not to go a lap down here. The 001 of Mr. Doyle Boyd now up in second place, with the 45 of Brent Thompson right behind him. The 74 of Kyle Simmons just behind him. Looks like maybe the 3 might possibly group up together here, try to run that draft game and make effective use of it, catch up to that 27 of Aaron Martin. Oh, and the 45 shoots to the inside now, trying to get around the 74 of Kyle Simmons, or excuse me, the 001 of Mr. Doyle Boyd, and both do so effectively there as the 001 of Mr. Boyd catches the wall. Looks like he kind of got sucked in there. 22 laps to go in this one now, and what an exciting race this one has been. Caution free, might I add. Knock on wood once again. We do not want to talk anything up here, because I guarantee you if a caution were to come out, all of these drivers would pit again. And that would pretty much ensure us getting to the end of the race with no extra pit strategy needed. It would simply be a battle amongst the drivers, no strategy involved. It would be about who was the faster driver and most effective and competitive driver, which there's nothing wrong with that either. We do like those from time to time, but I want to see what happens here. I don't know about y'all, but I want to see what happens here. Just 20 laps to go in this one now, and it is almost wrapped up. What a race it has been. 74 of Kyle Simmons and the 45 of Brent Thompson tucking in tight here, running that draft game, trying to shrink that 23-second gap there that they have just behind the 27 of Aaron Martin. Gonna have to try and keep things a little tighter than that. I'm sure tire wear is playing a major factor and makes drafting even trickier now. $19 laps to go now. Everybody's still trying to play catch up to the 27 of Aaron Martin. It is time to change things up a little bit here. Let's jump up front with our leader. See how things shake up, as we do anticipate having a pit stop here, as it looks like the 2 of Aaron Vogt now currently fighting for survival here, trying his best not to go a lap down, putting all the blocks into play. I'm not sure where the 25 of Stephen Gall went. Those 2 were running together pretty efficiently. I would like to think that. Oh, and it looks like the 27 of Aaron Martin going to shoot to the inside here and make it successful with the pass on the 2 of Aaron Vogt, who is now a lap down in this one. 17 laps to go, but it looks like the 2 of Aaron Vogt is now going to get it back as 27 of Aaron Martin comes in for a pit. And we will see. He should be just coming in to take fuel. I'm not sure. I think taking tires here would be a risky move with the lead that he's got, still a 20-second gap between him and the second place of the 45 of Brent Thompson here. May be just as effective. Just come in and take some fuel and get back out as quick as you can. So we see the 001 of Mr. Doyle Boyd sitting in pits currently. Brent Thompson has now taken the lead from the 27 of Aaron Martin. Stephen Gall up there now as well, third place. Now in second. Leaderboard is changing a bit. Now Aaron Vogt has moved up to third here. Drivers getting those lap backs and moving back in position. Things are shaking up well, but this will be the last pit strategy here of this one as the 45 of Brent Thompson comes in, and that is going to put the 25 of Stephen Gall back in first place. Whole leaderboard has done shaken up a bit now, as Stephen Gall is now your race leader. With about a 4-second gap there between him and the 2 of Aaron Vogt. Aaron really going to have to put the pedal to the metal on this one and eat up some tires in these last 15 laps to go. It is still anybody's game now. Don't get it twisted. It is still anyone's game here. Although that 25 of Stephen Gall does have a pretty commanding lead here. 4 seconds sounds like a lot of time, but it is really not that much time on the track. One simple mistake can really cut your time in half or more. As long as he can do his best with keeping it between the lines here, things should be relatively smooth. Only 14 to go now. Coming down the back stretch here, you see the 2 of Aaron Vogt just off in the distance. Pit strategy has played a major factor in tonight's race, and it has definitely succeeded in shaking things up and keeping the drive alive. Just 13 to go now with the 25 of Stephen Gall, still your race leader. So while we have a moment here with 13 laps to go in this one, fixing to be 12 now, let's go ahead and talk about this schedule a little bit. So these guys will be coming back next Wednesday, April 15th at Langley Speedway for 125 laps of short track action. That will be race number 13. Then they will head to New Hampshire for 125 laps there for race 14. And they will round out race 15 at Oxford Plains with 150 laps of more short track racing. They'll have an off week after Oxford Plains, and then they'll come back and we'll start mixing things up because we'll have our next stint of 5 races with 2 road courses. The first one being that of Lime Rock, followed by Charlotte Roval. So that should be interesting. First trip to a road course in this series will be at Lime Rock. That definitely should be a good time, but obviously that will be a daytime race in-game. Not actual time. We will not change up when these drivers race. It will stay 6 p.m. So you can always count on us going live for you at 6:30 every Wednesday evening. As the 25 of Stephen Gall here still trying to keep his lead. Aaron Vogt in the 2 has now shrunk it down a second. He's got about 3 more to gain here with 10 laps to go to try and catch up to the 25 of Stephen Gall. Gap still trying to shrink a little bit here. 9 laps now this time through for the 25 of Stephen Gall. And this one is almost over with here. As the two of Aaron Vogt still shrinking that gap. You see him coming up in the distance there just around the turn. Gonna do his best to catch up to that 25 and give him a hard-fought battle and run for his money here. 27 of Aaron Martin now in third. The 74 of Kyle Simmons in fourth. The 001 of Mr. Doyle Boyd in fifth. And it looks like our 45, Brent Thompson, has checked out. So a couple of DNFs tonight. 8 laps to go in this one. I'm trying to remember here. I want to say that the 25 of Stephen Gall pitted around the same time the 2 of Aaron Vogt did, so I do believe these two will stay out for the duration of this one and be able to stretch it all the way to the end here. Now Aaron Vogt in the 2 with a 3-second flat almost gap there between him and the 25 of Stephen Gall, so he is still shrinking that time down. But he's really going to have to push the limits here to get caught back up to him with just 7 laps to go. 6 this time through now. The only thing that may greatly assist him here is if the 25 has to pull off for fuel. But in all honesty, with just 6 laps to go, I would dare say that if I were in the 25 shoes, I might would just... I'll try to make it across with fumes. I do believe he would potentially have enough to do so, and you better believe he's most likely watching his black box in the car. Try and see how many laps he has left. That may be also the reason for part of the gap from Aaron Vogt shrinking down as quickly as it is. Maybe he is coming out of the throttle a good bit there. There is one for sure way for us to be able to look at that and tell, and let's do so here. Let's switch gears a little bit. Nope, that would be steering wheel inputs. Let's make sure it's not hiding behind that point there. It is not. So we need dashboard. Let's look at that dashboard now. 140. Let's check his speed here. See about what he's running, because now the 2 of Aaron Vogt is catching up to him here. Almost a 2-second gap between the two. 4 laps to go in this one. And the 2 of Aaron Vogt coming around that turn rather quickly here. Almost down to 1 second and some change. See if he can pull it off in this turn. He is almost there, and yes, he is now at a second. Oh, yep, right at a second now. 1.9 seconds there behind the 25 of Stephen Gall, so he is closing the gap. Gall driving a little more conservatively in the turns here. Just 3 laps to go in this one, and it is almost a wrap. I got a feeling, though, things are going to heat up towards the end here. If the 2 of Aaron Vogt can continue to shrink that gap, which he is doing so pretty effectively. Kind of a little bit of a plateau going on here. It looks like maybe the 25 of Stephen Gall giving it a little more throttle in the turns now. Trying to keep Vogt at bay there for these last 2 laps now, but Vogt is not backing down at all. I would dare say he is probably keeping that pedal to the metal here. And this will be our white flag lap this time around, with the 2 of Aaron Vogt just 1.5 seconds behind the 25 of Stephen Gall here. White flag lap this time around. going to have to watch anxiously here to see if the 2 of Aaron Vogt has what he needs to really shrink that gap and make the difference here. Oh no, sounds like the 25 of Stephen Gall is putting. She's running out of gas. As he's coming around for the win, this one's going to be close here. If Aaron Vogt can keep the gas going full throttle, Gall is running on fumes here. And it looks like he had enough to just make it over the line there. What an exciting finish. Literally ran the car out of gas for that first place win tonight. Hard fought and well earned. What a race there. The 25 of Stephen Gall, a little show of respect there between him and the 2 of Aaron Vogt. Those 2 spent a good deal of the race tonight drafting off of one another and really had a strong draft game going. And I do believe that a lot of that contributed to the effectiveness of this race here. Looks like maybe the 2 of Aaron Vogt is also running out of fuel as well. Both of these drivers struggling to make it back to pits here, bobbing and weaving. And looks like both of them are going to stop right there and take their tow to pit lane. That is unfortunate, though, as the 25 did not get to do any victory donuts this evening. But, man, what a race. Let's go ahead and get those final results up from tonight's race here. Stephen Gall is your first place winner tonight in the 25. Aaron Vogt finishing in second. Aaron Martin in third. Kyle Simmons in fourth. Mr. Doyle Boyd in fifth. Brent Thompson finishing out in sixth. And Hunter Powell tonight on his debut race finishing in seventh. So excellent finishes from all drivers tonight. What a race, man. That one's one that definitely keeps you on the edge of your seat there. Holy cow. Amazing. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that is going to do it for us here tonight. We hope you enjoyed the action just as much as we enjoyed bringing it to you. Thank you for joining us and taking the time to tune in. As always, like and subscribe to the channel if you want to keep up to date with all of the content. These guys will be heading out next Wednesday. I know I already said it once. I done forgot. Langley. They will be heading out to Langley for another short track battle. Some laps there. And don't forget also this Saturday, the Truck Series is heading out to Bristol. So still got some more action coming to you live this week. But for now, that's going to do it for us. Y'all enjoy the rest of your evening, and we hope to see you again on Saturday.